Pickled pork will be on your dinner table after watching how moist that is. Smart! Roasted pickled pork is that good? It should be illegal. I'm Schuey, and in this video I'm going to show you how to roast a pickled pork. Just something a little bit different to do during the holiday season. So sit back, grab a drink or two and let's get into it. We're going to need some pickled pork for this recipe. Lucky for me, my butcher Mick down at Gippsland Premium Meats just stocked up for Christmas. So I went in to see him and I ran out with this 1.9 kilogram piece of pickled pork. He likes it when his customers play games with him. His favourite type of game is when you go in and give him a cuddle and say, Schuey sent me. For the seasoning, we're going to keep it simple. First off, I'm just going to remove the pickled pork from its plastic jumpsuit. Then pat dry with a paper towel. Next up, we just want to coat it all over with extra virgin olive oil. And then we're going to go with our tried and tested SPG seasoning, which is salt, pepper and garlic. Sergeant Seasoning on board for action. Enemy acquired, preparing to salt. Enemy advancing, reloading with pepper. They just won't stop, finishing off with garlic. Now that the pork is seasoned, we can just pop this aside while we get the barbecue ready. You should take any large cut of meat out of the fridge an hour before cooking. This is going to aid in it cooking more evenly. Today, I'm going to be using a 57cm Weber kettle and I'm going to be pairing it up with 2 charcoal baskets. Why? Because I want to be roasting at temps of 180 to 200 degrees Celsius today. Place the baskets in, fill them with a chimney starter filled 3/4 away with lit fuel. And then just push them to either end of the charcoal grate. Add a drip pan to catch any juices and gently put the grill back in place. Pop the lid on and opening all the vents. Like anything, you should give your Weber 10 minutes to warm up before shoving your meat in it. Smart! The Weber's at temp so we can pop the pickled pork in the middle of the cooking grate. Adding an internal temp probe, and we're just going to track that until it reaches 63 degrees Celsius internally. And just pop the lid back on, and it is always best to track the internal temp of your meat with a thermometer, as this will stop you overcooking your meat and it will stay moist. Smart! You could also add some smoking wood now if you like. Apple pairs really nice with pork. We are 30 minutes into the cook, and that Weber lid vent creates a hot spot. So what I like to do is spin the lid 180 degrees for the rest of the cook. By altering the position of the lid vent, we can ensure we're going to get a more evenly cooked roast. Today, I'm cooking with a high indirect heat of 180 to 200 degrees Celsius, and this pickled pork's going to take no more than an hour and a half to be fully cooked. Or for those of you who like to follow my beer timer, you're looking at a 3-beer cook. Generally, pork roasted at 180 degrees Celsius takes 45 minutes per kilogram to be cooked perfectly to 63 degrees Celsius. The pickled pork's ready. It's hit 63 degrees Celsius internally. So we can now just get this off the heat. We're just going to let this rest for 19 minutes under foil before we carve it up. The general rule for resting meat is 1 minute per 100 grams, and this was a 1.9 kilogram pickled pork. Seriously, how moist does that look?